I guess you could say, hot entrance. How am I not? It's my airsoft gun. The real one is in my car's glove box. Nice to see that you read The Killing Joke. What are you, Zack Snyder? Look, I may be a cop, but at least I'm not an objectivist like Steve Ditko. Rest in peace. And why do you look like Ro from X-Men Evolution when reviewing DC stuff? Because fuck you! Besides, I already teased months ago that I'll be wearing a Batgirl costume for this video. Batman, because Paul Kersey is a pussy. Created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger, who recently got credited, I don't know why they didn't before, The Dark Knight made his debut in Detective Comics number 27 in May 1949. In Gotham City, Bruce Wayne witnessed his parents being murdered in front of him by a mugger. Wanting revenge, he used his parents' fortune to go around the world to learn fighting and detective skills. Despite his fears of bats as a youngster, he became the Batman, protecting the streets from criminals at night with his cowl and gadgets, and pretending to be a clueless playboy at day. In his early days, he had an actual gun, and according to the DC Extended Universe, he still has. Hey, if the situation escalates to a point where you have to break your own rules, it's fine, I guess. There have been TV shows like Adam West's Batman, and the Burton-inspired animated series, movies like Tim Burton's and Chris Nolan's versions, and video games of varying genres, released in a variety of consoles. To mention some well-known ones, there's the Arkham ones, the Lego ones, the Telltale Adventures series, the isometric one for the British microcomputers, and of course the Sons of NES one, loosely based off the 1989 movie. And since I'll get to quickly review 2 games for this episode, I'll be focusing on the ones based on Tim Burton's movies. Hopefully there won't be any accusations of plagiarism since, well, just look at me! Doesn't this seem familiar? Let's start with the 1989 film, and shit, there's a problem. Which version? There's like 4 of it to choose from. There's of course the Sunsoft one for the NES, but there's also the Ocean one for home PCs of the time, the Mega Drive beat 'em up one, also made by Sunsoft, and there's even another beat 'em up by Data East, which is only for the arcades. Fuck it, I'll be reviewing the NES version because most people are familiar with it. The game is a platformer that plays similar to Ninja Gaiden. Very similar, right down to the difficulty. You can jump from wall to wall, although you won't stick like Ryu. The controls are simple and quite easy to get used to it, except for the pause button, which, by the way, is a select button. Well, isn't that nice? What a good way to mess with my muscle memory, as the start button is used to change items. The Kid Crusader has a plethora of weapons beside his fists, like a gun. Fuck's sake, Snyder, stop bringing up the past! A batarang that, despite being a boomerang, costs ammo for some reason, and a shuriken that divides to 3. They have universal ammo, so don't think about using the gun too much if you want to use a batarang. What is this? There's Sexy Visible War? The game is hard, so be prepared for cheap placements, conveyor belts, and pyromancers throwing fire at the climbing sections. The first stage is where you run through the streets of Gotham, punching baddies and fighting against a random ninja. Is that supposed to be Deathstroke? It's not even the stage boss. Instead, it's this flying dude who shoots projectiles in patterns and charges at you. His pattern is a bit randomized, but once you get used to how he does, he's toast. Stage 2 takes place in the Axis chemical plant, where it has these proximity mines that attract you, and gas where you must wall jump to traverse. The boss isn't a person. It's this contraption where you have to disable the defenses and destroy these turrets so that you can destroy whatever that's supposed to be. Weird. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? He seems nicer than Jared Leto from what I heard. Oh no! A sewer level! Why do I have to endure the madness of leaping frogmen and big robots shooting fireballs? I love the graphics. While it looks monochrome, it's fitting for a Batman game. Looking at animations, it's amazing how Soundsoft made it look unique. Oh man, the cape! Unfortunately, it can have a downside. When you press the jump button, it has a delay where Batman has to crouch and then jump for a fraction of a second. But it isn't that irritating when trying to avoid projectiles. The sound is good, especially the music. Sure, it's no Prince or Danny Elfman, but it's still a fantastic soundtrack. I won't spoil the rest of the game for you, so if you have the patience, go get it. It's a neat little platform that is hard to beat, with a great soundtrack. Technically there's a sequel to it, Return to the Joker, which has a pretty cool box art, but I must get to the next movie tie-in game. Now we turn to the games based off the Darker sequel, featuring the Lorax. There's a lot going on when it comes to it. There's a PC version which is an adventure game, a controversially misleading Amiga version where game magazines were fully thinking it was a direct port of the DOS game, but it wasn't, the Konami beat 'em ups, the Atari Lynx beat 'em up game, and the Sega platformers. To make things simple, I'm sticking with the Mega CD version. Funny, I was expecting an FMV intro or some company logos, but since this was published by Sega, I can see why. This one is made by Mellow Interactive and Acme Interactive, and it's basically a port of the Mega Drive version, with one big addition. This version has driving sections, and to showcase above the item, the very first level is one of them. Your objective here is to destroy all the vehicles in the stages, indicated by the red bar. These levels have 6 stages each, and every first stage is a boss battle. You press A to shoot discs, I believe, and C for rockets. You can use any tactic, be it ramming into the vehicles or shoot at them. Wow, that's very hardcore. Finishing a stage replenishes your health, and you can pick up Batman barrels to get rockets. I can't seem to do these levels well. It's so hard to take down this mini-boss, even worse as a timer, and it's only making me feel worried when it gets bigger as it goes down to single digits. God, I don't like these levels. Thankfully, you can change the difficulty from normal to training, and you can also select the type of game, platformer only, driving only, or both. So let's see the platforming levels. It takes a bit to get used to it. You press C to jump, double tapping brings up the grappling hook, and pressing up and C does that as well, if you want to climb. B is for punching, and A is for your weapons, so it's kinda similar to Batman on the NES. Using the grappling hook seems hard for me. Most of the time it doesn't hit where it's supposed to be, because help takes more effort than it should, but at least it's better than in Batman Forever. Hey, remember the movie when Batman got up against gargoyles, and whatever that's supposed to be, before heading to the cathedral? Movie tie-in games are weird. I don't like these fire drops. I only get a fraction of a second to cross them safely, so 4 times out of 5 you likely get hit. Once saving crystals, I respawn to the point before you die, so you won't lose your progress. And my first boss of the stage is Catwoman. Wow, that was quick. This game set after the Ice Princess got killed and Batman was framed, just so you know. I just don't get this far. She keeps doing backflips, which makes her immune, and if I try getting close, she punches me most of the time. And while I was watching long plays of it, these people make it look easy. Ugh, it's why I don't like some old games with Sarah. It's hard as balls, and it's only that to couple quarters. Except you're playing on a home console, so it doesn't make sense to put a timer in the driving section. Never mind. Graphics are great, especially the driving levels with sprite scaling, rotation, and vibrant colors. Despite being mostly dark, it's quite pleasant to the eye. Unfortunately, the frame rate is quite choppy, almost like you're playing in an FMV game. I really love the gothic look, both in the games and in the movies, so it's right up my alley. For sound, some of them are digitized, so of course it sounds like a goblet mess, but it's alright. I actually love the sound the enemies die in here more than in the Mega Drive version. As this is a Mega CD game, Breadbook music is to be expected, and despite not being mostly fitting, it does sound awesome. Who composed the soundtrack anyway? Spencer Nielsen, you son of a bitch! You could put the song from the first level to Stardust Speedway, and it wouldn't sound out of place. Batman Returns is a good game, but I only recommend it if you're into arcade driving games, since it's pretty much a direct port of the Mega Drive version, just like some other Mega CD games. Besides that, it's alright, just that it takes some time to get used to it, and it's kind of hard, even in the first stages. Fuck! I can't get over the fact that Batman used guns in Dawn of Justice! Sassy, darling, can you stop talking about Batman and guns for a moment? Talk about something different, I'm getting tired of your shit. Why did the Amazing Spider-Man 2 need too many villains? Oh, for fuck's sake!